All right, so today we're looking into something pretty interesting. You reached out because you're trying to understand this software suite called Turboplus, and it's made by a Taiwanese company, Wellingtech.
Huh.
And the thing is, all the materials we have are in Chinese, but you don't read Chinese.
Right.
You're right.
But it's okay. That's okay, because we're going to unpack it all for you
Oh.
today. So basically, we've got a bunch of manuals, marketing materials, all that good stuff. But it's all in Chinese. So what we're going to do in this deep dive is try to figure out exactly what TurboPlus does, how it works, and why you might want to use it, even if you can't read those original Chinese materials.
Sounds good. Yeah, this is pretty fascinating, actually. Wellingtech itself has quite a history. It was founded back in 2006 by Jack Yang, and they've been really heavily involved in system integration and cloud services for a long time now, almost 2 decades. But Turbo Plus, which they just released last year, feels like their big vision coming together.
Yeah. You get that sense, right? Like, they've been building up to this. And I know, I've heard they've won some awards. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. They got a gold medal at the Hong Kong Design and Innovation Technology Expo, and even a National Invention Award for their MTS molecular targeting software.
A National Invention Award. Okay, that's
Yeah.
that gives them some street cred, for sure. So what kind of projects have they actually tackled in the past?
Oh, their portfolio is, it's really diverse. I mean,
Yeah.
they've done everything from developing a property management platform to even a system for a restaurant run entirely by robots.
Wait, what a Rodot restaurant?
Robot noodle restaurant.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so they've got the experience, but what exactly IS Turbo Plus?
Well, at its core, TurboPlus is a software suite built on this idea of no-code technology. It's got two main parts. They have NCDP, which is their no-code development platform,
Yeah.
and then EAS, which is a whole suite of ready-made business applications.
No code technology. I keep hearing that everywhere. What does that even mean? Can anyone really build software without knowing how to code?
It's kind of like, think of it like building with Legos. Instead of writing lines of code, you're using visual tools, dragging and dropping these pre-built components. It's all about making software development, really accessible to everybody, not just the tech wizards.
So it's like giving anybody the power to build their own tools. That's kind of a huge shift, right?
Huh.
What are the main advantages that they're pushing with this?
Well, I think speed and flexibility are really at the top of the list. You can build solutions fast, adapt them as your needs change, and access them from anywhere. And then a big selling point is that it integrates smoothly with systems that people are already using.
Okay, I see how that could be a big deal for businesses, especially, businesses that can't afford to hire a whole team of developers. But how do they actually deliver on the speed, though? With this no-code approach, does that really work?
That's a great question. What's really interesting here is that because Wellingtech started in system integration, they really understand how messy real-world business processes can be. TurboPlus isn't just about, building things fast. It's about connecting those builds to all the existing systems, which is where things usually slow down.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're streamlining the whole thing, not just one part of it. All right, let's start digging into some of the details here. Let's start with NCDP, their development platform. How do you actually build software without coding?
So NCDP has this really intuitive visual interface. You build your applications by dragging and dropping different elements, designing forms, setting up how different data points relate to each other, all without writing a single line of code.
So it's really like that Lego analogy. What kind of building blocks are we talking about here?
Well, they have a huge library of field types you can use in your forms. Everything from, simple text fields to drop-down menus, date pickers, file uploads. I mean, you name it. They've even got specialized fields for things like GPS coordinates and barcode scanners.
Wow, okay. That's a lot of variety. So you could build something simple like a contact form, or you could go way more complex.
Exactly. And here's where the real power comes in. With NCDP, you can actually define how the data in your forms connects and interacts. You can build workflows, automate tasks, based on how you link these different forms and data sources together.
Okay, so give me a real-world example, something from the manuals that really clicked for you.
Okay, well, let's say you're building a simple inventory tracking system. You would have a form for each product with details like the name, the quantity, the location. And then you could connect this form to your sales orders. So every time a sale happens, your inventory automatically updates.
Okay, now that is efficient. And I wouldn't need to know any coding to set that up.
Nope, not at all. That's the whole point of NCDP. It gives you that control of custom software, but without the really steep learning curve.
That almost sounds too good to be true. There's got to be some trade-off there somewhere. But we'll get into that in a little bit. first I want to talk about the other half of Turboplus, EAS. So what's the deal with these pre-built applications?
Okay, so EAS is all about ready-made solutions for common business needs. Think of it like a toolbox filled with applications for things like HR, accounting, logistics, sales, customer management, all that stuff. And because it's integrated with NCDP, you can actually customize them to fit exactly how your business operates.
Okay, that's where things start to get interesting for me. Let's break down each EAS module and what makes them stand out.
Okay, let's start with HR, which is, usually a real headache for businesses. EAS has this whole module that covers everything from like onboarding new employees to managing payroll and even performance reviews.
Okay, that's a lot to handle in one module.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that jumped out at you when you were looking at the manual?
One of the features that really caught my eye was the detailed employee work record management. You can actually track hours, tasks, projects. You can even generate reports to analyze productivity. No more guesswork or relying on like spreadsheets for everything.
That's a huge time saver for sure. And what about like vacation requests and approvals? Is that all handled digitally too?
Oh, absolutely. They've got a built-in system for employees to submit those requests electronically, and managers can approve or deny them with just a few clicks. So all that back and forth emailing is gone.
Okay, so EAS is shaping up to be pretty impressive. I want to hear about all the other modules too. But first, let's take a quick break and we'll come back and unpack the rest of EAS. All right, so we're back and ready to jump back into EAS. That's the enterprise application system that comes with Turboplus. We left off talking about the HR module, which I was pretty impressed with, I gotta say.
Yeah, no, it's really well thought out, and it's really just the beginning of what EAS can do.
Right. What's next on our EAS tour?
Well, let's talk about logistics, which is, essential for any business that deals with physical goods. The EAS logistics module. It's all about managing how products move. From when you order them to warehousing and finally, to delivery.
So we're talking about inventory management, keeping track of all the stock levels, making sure things are where they're supposed to be.
Exactly. And one of the coolest features they highlight is this real-time inventory function. It basically tracks your inventory levels, and it updates in real time as products come in and go out. So you don't have to do manual stock counts. You don't have to worry about discrepancies.
Wow, okay. That would save so much time and hassle. What else makes the logistics module so special?
Well, it's really comprehensive. I mean, they have features for managing your purchase orders, tracking shipments, even handling your warehouse operations. It's like you have this central control center for your whole supply chain.
That's pretty impressive. And you mentioned earlier that EAS integrates with NCDP, right? Can you give me an example of how that might work with this logistics module?
Sure. Let's say you used NCDP to build a custom app for managing supplier relationships. You could actually integrate that directly with the EAS logistics module. So when you place an order with a supplier using your custom app, all that information automatically goes into the EAS system, which updates your inventory levels and triggers, the shipping procedures.
Wow. It's like all the pieces are talking to each other. What about the sales side of things? How does EAS handle that?
So the EAS sales module is kind of like having a built-in CRM system that's connected to everything else. And it helps you manage your whole sales pipeline from start to finish.
So not just keeping track of who's buying what, but managing the whole relationship.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can track your leads, manage your contacts, create quotes, generate invoices, even analyze your sales performance, all within the EAS system. So it gives you everything you need to really build strong customer relationships.
Okay, this is all sounding amazing, but, no software is perfect. What about the drawbacks? Are there any limitations?
That's a good point. And actually, the manuals do emphasize that. You need to do it right. Like, you need to implement it properly.
Yeah.
And train people to use it. So they're pretty upfront about the fact that getting the most out of Turboplus takes some time and effort. It's not like a magic solution that's going to solve all your problems overnight.
Of course, there's always going to be a learning curve, even with the most user-friendly software.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, the manuals offer a lot of guidance. They have detailed tutorials, FAQs, even case studies showing how real businesses in different industries are using Turboplus.
Okay, so they're not just saying, like, here's the software, good luck. They're actually providing the resources to help you.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. So we've covered HR, logistics, and sales. What else is there?
Well, let's talk about the accounting module. That's for all the number crunchers out there. It handles everything from basic bookkeeping to generating those, really complex financial reports.
All right. What about this module stood out to you?
Well, one feature that I thought was really cool is that you can directly import your bank transaction data. So no more manual data entry, which means fewer errors, and way less headache for whoever's managing the books.
That's a lifesaver. So it sounds pretty comprehensive. What else does it cover?
Oh, it covers a lot. I mean, you can manage accounts payable and receivable. You can generate invoices, track payments, reconcile bank statements. It even has tools for managing your budget and forecasting.
Wow, that's a lot. It's like a one-stop shop for managing your finances.
It really is. And they designed it to be pretty user-friendly,
Yeah.
even if you're not, a certified accountant.
Okay, cool. I think we're getting a good sense of how powerful EAS really is. Is there anything else we need to cover?
One more thing, the project management module. This is a centralized platform for, planning, organizing, and tracking your projects from the very beginning to the very end.
Yeah, project management is something that every business needs. What are some of the key features there?
Well, it's all about helping your team stay organized and on track. You can create project plans, assign tasks, set deadlines, track progress. You can even collaborate with your team members all in one place. It even has tools for managing budgets, risks, and resources.
So it's not just about checking off tasks, it's about managing the entire project from start to finish.
Right, exactly.
Okay, this is starting to feel like EAS could be a real game changer for businesses.
I think so too, especially combined with the customization power of NCDP. It gives you a level of flexibility and control that you don't usually find in off-the-shelf software.
Yeah, I'm ready to hear more about how those two work together, but first, I think we need to take another quick break. We'll be right back to wrap up our deep dive on Turboplus. All right, so we're back. I'm really curious to see how this all comes together. We've seen NCDP for custom builds, we've looked at the EAS modules, but how does it actually all work together?
Yeah, that's really the magic of this whole software suite. The synergy between custom development and those pre-built solutions. Because remember, EAS isn't supposed to be like a one-size-fits-all system. It's a starting point. And then you use NCDP to customize it for your needs.
Okay, so you can mix and match. You don't have to choose bring custom or pre-built.
Right.
Can you give me like a real-world example of that?
Sure. Let's imagine you're a small business owner.
Yeah.
And you love the EAS sales module. But you wish it could automatically send personalized follow-up emails based on, how customers interact with you.
Okay, that's pretty specific. Could you actually build that in?
Yeah, totally. You could use NCDP to create a custom app that integrates with that sales module. It could track customer interactions, send personalized emails based on, what they do, and even update their customer profile in EAS with the email content.
So you're not just adding a feature, you're adding a whole new layer of functionality.
Exactly. And that highlights one of the big benefits of this integration. You get to keep all those core functions of EAS, the stuff that's already working for you. But you can address those really specific needs that usually you'd have to, hire someone to code for you.
Yeah, you're getting the best of both worlds.
Right.
The convenience of pre-built solutions, but with total customization.
It's all about finding that balance.
Yeah.
Between, standardization and customization.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen in the manuals, Wellingtech has really thought this through to make this integration as easy as possible.
So realistically, how easy is it for someone who doesn't know how to code to actually make this work?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
I mean, NCDP is designed to be user-friendly, but there's always going to be a learning curve. But Wellingtech seems to get that. They've got tons of resources to help you.
Like what?
Well, the manuals are just the start. They have a whole online knowledge base with tutorials, walkthroughs, even a user forum where people can share tips.
So you're not just on your own?
No, definitely not. And if you're really stuck, they have professional services. You can hire their experts to help you get things set up.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
It's not like they just throw you in and say, figure it out.
Nope. They really want to help you succeed.
That's good. It's not just about selling software. It's about building a community.
I think that's a big part of why they're doing so well. They're not just trying to change the industry. They're trying to, empower people to use technology.
I like that. So we've covered a lot. NCDP, the EAS modules, all the customization. What's the big takeaway here?
I think the biggest takeaway is the potential. Turboplus really changes how we think about software development. It's about giving everyone the tools to build what they need.
Putting the power back in the hands of the users.
Exactly.
Okay, this has been awesome. I feel like I've learned so much about no-code technology.
Me too. It's been fascinating.
And for anyone listening, remember, there's a free trial of Turboplus, so you can try it out yourself. You might be surprised by what you can create.
Yeah, definitely give it a shot.
Great. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, keep on diving.